Ahoy, nerdlings.
Army nerdlings.
Do ye nerd for pirate stuff? Well, if you do, sit right there with Lady Lacey and Captain Long John Blackbeard Pegleg Patch-Eyed Hook.
Wow. Arr.
Alright, so you guys know how much we love to check out local events and all kinds of stuff like that. One, it's just fun to do, but two, it is always good to kind of promote some awareness to let people know, hey, look what you missed out on, but check it out next year.
And local doesn't always necessarily mean in the same town.
Tell me about it.
You know, this was up at Lake of the Ozarks. It was Ozark Pirate Fest.
This was on Sunrise Beach at a location called Captain Ron's.
And that, let me tell you, that was a fun restaurant.
Well, first of all, we had a little bit of a drive up there, but not too bad.
I think it's about a little less than about an hour and a half drive.
Okay, from where we are.
From where we are.
And as soon as we got there, let's just jump right into it. So as soon as we got there, we saw Captain Ron's, but they also had a little pavilion set outside, and you could gather under there, some nice tables to eat, get some drinks at and everything.
Yes.
And they were starting a show right off the bat. It's like they started it because we showed up.
We were there.
They held off until we got there, and then once we sat down, they are called the Nava Sands Gypsies, and they had a Mermaid Tales show for us.
Yes, and I love mermaids, so I was super, super excited that we got there in time to see the show.
They were pretty.
They were very pretty. They had very pretty costumes. I did like how each mermaid was different.
Yes.
No two mermaids were alike. They all had different kinds of either outfits on, whether it's seashells or netting or sparkly bits, which I love sparkly bits, or, like the mermaid, scale sequency stuff.
Yeah.
I love that stuff, and I've always loved that kind of music, and I love watching dancing to that and everything. And so I enjoyed it, even if it wasn't mermaid themed. I just enjoyed it for the music and the dancing alone. So.
And they had a lot of fun doing that. They were really good at what they were doing. And they were just having a lot of fun with it, too, you know, because in some of the video clips you might see them shoving each other around, trying to get that center spotlight location. And, yeah, it was just real fun to watch.
The other thing was, it was a very, very windy day. A storm was actually blowing in when we were there. But I will say, the mermaids used that wind to their advantage with their little, those like wing drapey, capey thingies. I don't know what they're called. But they were definitely using that to their advantage. And it made the dance look even cooler because it was just blowing in the breeze.
Alright, so this was actually the second year for the Ozarks Pirate Fest, and the thing is, they had a couple of vendors, but not a whole lot, but you can really see the potential for this to grow. And that's always one of the fun things to do about checking out events like this, to kind of start in their infancy and see where they go from there.
Things that I picked up from the vendors was I got this cute little keychain here, and I've always liked the, like, I don't know, the old school, like, buoy things where I never understood how they used glass buoys, like how that worked or whatever, but I've always thought they were kind of neat. And so this was a neat idea. They took the fishing net and rope thing and they used a marble to look like the old-fashioned buoys. So I just thought that was really neat.
It's always nice when they take like real simple bits but turn it into something clever and crafty.
Something else that I got there was it's just a very simple like cloth pouch, drawstring pouch that they had at a show special. And I got it because I carry around some water shoes, and it was perfect. I'm glad I had them there because they had a lot of sand. And the water shoes keep the sand out of my toes. I don't like sand between my toes unless I'm actually at the beach. But the lady there, she's a very good salesman because she admired my shoes and then said, you know, this would be perfect to put your little water shoes in and then you wouldn't get sand everywhere. And I was like, oh, sold. But I'm kind of like Deadpool. I love my pouches.
All the pouches.
All the pouches for my Ren Fair costumes. So anyway, the last thing that I bought, and she packaged it so cutely, was this one lady booth had really neat, like she had taken like rocks and elements and turned them into necklaces and jewelry and everything. And I love my rocks, and I loved how she had all them displayed on cards and everything. I thought that was kind of neat. But
see, another clever idea because you don't have to buy like the necklace cards or bracelet cards, for
you
their
just put
display.
them on these cards.
use some playing cards.
And the fun thing is, it's kind of like piratey on the back of the deck of cards that she used. But I thought this was really clever. She took like a little crystal geode and put it in a tiny pot and little moss and made like I'm growing my own little geode. So I just thought that was
growing her own.
I'm growing my own geodes. So I thought that was really cute. I just had to get one of those. So we didn't get a whole lot this time. But, you know, you don't necessarily have to buy something when you go to these functions. I mean, I'm sure the vendors appreciate if you buy from them, but you can just go and experience things just to experience it. And the neat thing about this whole festival, it was free. So that's always nice.
Something else that you got from the vendor.
I did. It was kind of neat. They did this neat little trick on how to ride the pirate ship. You had to get a piece of 8. And you were basically, when you bought something from a vendor, they would give you a piece of 8, and then you turned that into the pirate ship to get on the ride. And so I got a piece of 8, and it was just a pretty seashell was my piece of 8 that I got to get on the pirate ship. Now, the funny thing was I kept telling him, I was like, I don't really want to turn this in because it's a really pretty seashell and everything. But then we got lucky. Why did we get lucky? Or not lucky, depending on how you want to look at it?
Well, the seas, they got a bit choppy. The waters were unsafe. They moved about as if some fierce beast were beneath the waves, ready to reach up, snag your ship, and pull her down to Davy Jones.
So was it a Kraken, or was it Poseidon?
I've been cracking my knuckles.
So what you're saying is we missed the boat.
We did miss the boat. So yeah, they had actually brought the boat in and tied it up and everything because there was some storms coming.
It was very choppy, actually.
So, they were trying to keep people safe, though, so we didn't mind that.
Yeah.
And we got some nice pictures. We got a nice close-up look or a closer-upper look at the Gypsy Rose, and it was actually very cool looking.
It was. It would have been fun to get on the boat, it was a joke that we missed the boat, but we literally did because when we got there, they were doing boat ride tours, and we even were like, we took a picture of the boat out on the water. We're like, hello, boat. But, unfortunately, by the time we got over to the dock, they were like, it's too choppy. And we weren't coming back the next day, Sunday. And they were like, oh, tomorrow's going to be great. Come back tomorrow. And we're like, oh, it's a long drive. Sorry, we're not going to do that just for a boat ride. But maybe next year, right?
Maybe. As we mentioned before, a lot of this was centered around Captain Ron's, which is a bar, a restaurant, and they had all kinds of fun with the theme on the inside. The different barrels of rum was a nice touch.
Yes.
And of course, they did have some themed drinks, which was very nice.
Yes.
And very much appreciated at this point for us.
Bye, booze. Do you drink? I drink. Do you drink? I drink. Do you nerd drink? I like to drink. No, I'm not an alcoholic. I don't like to drink that much. It's water now. Hey, stop moving. Why are you moving?
Yes, and just basically to get off our feet, from walking around. Sand, it's hard to walk around it. The entire restaurant is pirate themed, which is kind of, I guess, what spawned the fest outside. But they had like a mock pirate ship, like half of it, I guess, built inside, and there were pirates on there, and they were steering the boat and everything, and they had really, really good food, big portions of food
they
too.
did.
You got just the appetizer.
Yeah, I was a fan of the nachos. Holy cow. First of all, I just want to point out, making a nacho plate with queso cheese instead of just, regular nacho cheese was awesome.
Amazing.
And then it had some crab, and I think there was some shrimp, some other seafood
shrimp and
in
calamari on there. It was seafood nachos, and it was just the appetizer, but it would have fed both of us plenty.
Yeah, I think we ended up sharing some because then we took the rest of yours.
Right,
home.
because I got the chicken strips because chicken just sounded really good. But these weren't chicken strips. I got 4 chicken breasts. I don't think they know what a strip of chicken is. So we took the majority of that home and had it for lunch the next day. But it was very good food, very decent portions. I could see us going back there just to go eat at Captain Ron's, especially for your nachos. You were talking about those nachos for days.
Yeah, they were pretty good. All right, so the mermaids, the gypsies, they were not the only entertainment on hand. They did have some live music, and they also had a couple of jesters, some illusionists that were wowing the kids, and maybe some of the bigger kids that had a little too much of the magic potion anyway.
It's kind of one of those things that's hard to tell. Were they a little too much on the sauce side, or were they just trying to do that to get their kids to be impressed?
It may be.
For the next few moments, you're the boss. Let's hit it for the boss. Let's hit it for this guy. He is here to testify that this is, in fact, an authentic deck of cards that you can buy at the Dollar General. No, Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree. For only $1 at the Dollar Tree. All right. All right, guys. All right. Did everyone see the card?
Yes!
Do you know what the card is? Would you tell me? Oh, no. That might ruin the trick, right? All right. Except for, I used to be a forensic scientist. Yeah, I know, right? What? This is where the magic happens, folks. Are you ready? Yes! Can I borrow your hat? Sure can. All right. And you're sure it's empty? Sure, yeah. There is nothing in his hat. It's his hat, not my hat. See, if it was my hat, you might think something funny was going on. But it's his hat, and there's no card, and I don't know you. Do you know him? I do know him. Oh, did you arrange something with him? Is that what happened? Reach inside the hat. What is in the hat? Show them. Same card. No way to penetrate that in any way, shape, or he's smelling it to make sure. Is that good?
It's good.
That's solid.
It is solid.
There's no hole in it.
There is not.
No hole.
Except for the center.
Except for the center. See, I almost got him there. Ready, watch, as the magic happens right before your eyes. 1, 2, 3. Solid. Watch now as the magic happens right before your eyes. 1, 2, 3. Whoa. Wait, watch. Celtic knot. Each ring is interlocked throughout the other. Grab it right there. Pull. You broke it.
All right, so that was our trip to the Ozark Pirate Fest. We had learned about this from
Central Missouri,
the ren-fest.
Last October.
So it just goes to show, definitely get out there,
Yes.
check out some of your events, because you may learn about other events. And when you go to these events, you encourage them to grow and become bigger events. And then you get to sit around with your big white Santa beard and say, back in my day, I remember when I first went to the Pirate Festival, they were still feeding people to crocodiles. And because that's what they were totally doing.
No, there were no crocodiles.
But it was a lot of fun. We had a good time checking out. First of all, checking out the area by Captain Ron's with, they had some fun statues and stuff like that.
They did.
It was
They
just
had-
kind of a cool
yeah.
place to explore. Of course, the vendors had some couple of goodies for
Yes.
you.
They always have goodies for me. I can always find something to buy, can't I?
Yeah, Captain Ron's had some goodies for me in my belly.
Yeah, see, that's where he spends his money, is on the food. I spend my money
true.
on the tangible things.
All right. Well, nerdlings, we would love to hear what you thought of the Ozarks Pirate Festival. Maybe it looked like your kind of thing. That's something that you would like to check out. Maybe if I put some footage in there and you got to see some of those beach chairs on the beach.
Yeah, that
maybe
looked
that's
like a
what
lot
you
of
would have
fun.
been doing all day. It's like, hey, I'm at Ozarks Pirate Fest in a chair with my drink, staring at the water.
Maybe that's what we should have done.
Well, leave those comments down below. Drop a like if you happen to like the video. Subscribe, hit that notification bell because, you know what? You never know what kind of video is going to come out next.
And don't forget to like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram so that you can see where we're going. If we go to fun events like this, free events are always the best. And don't forget, over there on TeePublic, we've got some merchandise that we'd love to see you in, nerdlings. Remember, if we like it,
We nerd it!
arr!
Yarr!
Put your hooks up.
Mermaid dancer.
What's a pirate's favorite letter?
The sea! I'm just gonna keep doing it until you're ready to go. They did have a place for you to park. Listen to me talking
Yeah.
like I'm from up north. But
Oh, I thought you were just trying the pirate.
I'm trying the pirate thing.
They did have a thing for you to park at. Jesters on
Yes.
hand, and
Just a minute. I'm gonna go finish dinner. Do a little dance for everybody.
do a little yawn.